Hey, what's going on, guys? So happy holidays, July 4th coming up, and we're in Canada, so we have our own little holiday as well. So I did get a chance to make a video yesterday, just being way too busy with the family. However, just wanted to give you my take on Investor Day, which I had a bit of a slight different mindset that most of the group actually had as well. My main concern was the fact that it was an Investor Day and it should have been focused about investors, where the key focus is always and will be ERX, because nothing will ever matter if ERX does not succeed. So with the original presentation that was done a couple of years ago, that was Investor Day. That was Investor Day, obviously, to show what the Hyliion is all about and what the Hyliion is projecting the sales to be. Now, Hyliion obviously made a couple of projections about the Carno, not financial, but growth-wise. And none of that really matters to me, because Hyliion is not that great at projections. What they projected 3 years ago, we have probably reached about 0.04% of actual value what was projected. So whatever they talk about Carno, none of that matters. It's great, it's a flashy new object, new toy in the future, but none of that matters until ERX is fully developed and operational. What I really wanted to see from Hyliion is solidifying and giving us more information about the ERX. So not regurgitating the data that we already know and been listening for the last couple of years. They could have came out and said, okay, 20 fleets signed up to receive their one ERX. Great. Why don't you share which fleets are going to adopt? Because they already signed a letter of intent, right? They already signed an agreement. Share. Give us that little bit of a confidence so that we know what we're holding is worth value. Obviously, eventually we're going to find out, but why not share? That was the whole point of Investor Day, is to show to the investors where Hyliion is. I don't care about the future, to be honest with you. Carno is fantastic, but none of that really matters. Almost looking at Hyliion's Investor Day kind of reminds me of the Tesla's Investor Day, where they kind of projected how they're going to adopt into an energy company into the future. You know what? That's great, because it really suits Tesla, because they have a core product that sells and gives value and creates income, so they can project these future plans. Hyliion, unfortunately, still doesn't have a core product that makes money. So it absolutely makes no sense sort of fishing for new investors, because that's all this was. It was an event to showcase to everybody, to the new investors who are willing to step into Hyliion and put more money in, that's going to show, oh, well, we're going to deliver more Carnos, we're going to generate more value. All of that is great, but the original investor presentation was ERX, and that's what should have been the core of entire presentation. Now, they did touch on ERX a little bit, probably 1/4 of an actual presentation, but the whole focus was Carno, and I really don't agree with that. It is fantastic, don't get me wrong. I have my bullish thesis for Carno, but the whole point of the presentation should have been ERX, where they explain how they're going to achieve profitability. Why can't we know that? That should be the core topic of the whole Investor Day presentation. You cannot have Investor Day presentation without telling somebody how you're going to reach profitability, how you're going to reach full-scale production. They did hint little hints there, but I truly think they sort of missed their window, giving investors, giving analysts something really to grip on. Because I'm not investing into Carno, I'm not investing into a new energy company, which I hope one day they turn out to be. I'm investing into an original presentation that was there 3 years ago, which was an ERX. All right, so I truly think they kind of blew it in one way with this investor presentation. It could have been a lot better, just giving us an idea how for us shareholders that we've been holding this position for so long, it's almost as if, see ya guys, goodbye. Here's the new investor presentation for the new investors to look forward towards Carno. But I don't want to look forward towards that. I want to look forward to ERX. All right, now I'm done with the rant. Second thing that I really did like about the presentation is, obviously, bullish thesis for Carno, which we're not there. But the bullish thesis for Carno is basically all these OEMs, they're screwed with the BEVs. There's nowhere to charge them. They know that. So they cannot be dishing out 5,000-10,000 units combined when there's no infrastructure. Nikola is living through that right now, where they are selling few units, but they have hundreds of units sitting in the parking lots because nobody can buy them, because you can't really charge them. So same thing is happening with Volvo, Freightline, Iveco, all of those lines. They just don't see the need or the will to keep purchasing these units or developing these units to somebody to purchase them because there's nowhere to charge them. Now, in future, down the line, 3 to 5 years, I really don't care. If Hyliion can develop their Carno product where it's fully sustainable, where it's a single unit that can charge 5 BEVs by using a natural gas and converting them via a linear generator, then great. You know, now we're converting into an energy company which Hyliion can deliver an actual working model for BEVs to charge. I always valued Hyliion as a $30 billion company, in my opinion, because they can take that kind of a market share and create value for investors. But like I said, none of that will ever matter if an ERX is not going to deliver. And I truly believe how EX was sort of phased out and it hasn't been really brought back into the picture. I just really hope the ERX does not churn the same way, because true competition to Hyliion is going to be the 15 liter. And the 15 liter, obviously it's not going to deliver what ERX that delivers. That doesn't have the battery, doesn't have the Meritor setup, the whole powertrain unit. However, if a unit costs $220,000 and then you have an ERX that costs $380,000, $390,000, that's a substantial difference. How are you going to make up that difference? If it's going to take you 4 to 5 years to make up that difference, then fleets keep churning over their vehicles, units every 5 years. What is the incentive for them having an ERX if they can hold it for 5 years to break even when they could have bought a 15 liter, 10 of them for the price of 4 ERXs and already create savings for their operational cost? So to me, that is the true competition to Hyliion, and that's where Investor Day should have been a little more thorough, a little more, explain a little more how can ERX deliver value to the fleets, not comparing it to BEVs. We already beat that horse. We know the ERX is far better than BEV in so many factors, but the 15 liter is the one, and that was my question, which obviously didn't get through, but that's fine, is how is ERX going to compete with the 15 liter? Now, to their defense, maybe they don't want to mention it or kind of answer that question because they are purchasing from Cummins, so they don't want to play, they don't want to badmouth Cummins. However, it's something to consider, right? Because that is a true competition for Hyliion. So all in all is, I truly think this Investor Day could have been done a little bit better. The fact of the matter is we don't have a product that's selling yet. It's in the process of being sold, 30 units. And one thing they should have mentioned is 2024. What can we expect as investors? I don't care about the Carno right now. I care about 2024. What can we expect? Are we going to expect another maybe 90 units? Because that, I mean, that'll be nice. That's 3x where we are right now, but that's not going to cut it. We need 300. Anywhere between 300 to 500 ERXs, that's what we need. Because Hyliion is racing against time, and their time is the amount of money they have left in their bank. Otherwise, if they deliver in 2024 150 units and they're going to completely drain out their funds, guess what? The stock is going to stay where it is or go lower, and they're going to be shit out of luck to raise money. So this Investor Day was a bit of a flop for me, to be honest. I had high expectations only with the ERX and 2024, and now that got delivered. So if you want to roast, but to me, this wasn't the best day. Cheers.